So a group of people come up to me and says, hey, let's build one of your little communities, you know. So we made a down payment on 40 acres in Naples. And then all of them pulled out. Some people used to think they pulled out because they said they didn't think the zoning board would let my stuff go up. So they just stopped, and Roxanne and I and another person were left holding the slip on 40 acres. So we had to sell it. It was $600 an acre. If they hung on it, they'd all been millionaires today. But they didn't. I didn't twist anybody's arm. But I went to the head of the zoning board anyway and opened up my print. He said, what is this? You know. I said, you have to give me at least 15 minutes or come into my office. He spent an hour and a half with me, and the first thing he says, can I join your organization? Head of the zoning board. I'll do everything I can to get this built. And I said, we have no organization. I wouldn't go back and say, hey, the zoning board likes it. I don't buy that. If they don't know what it is that I want to do and don't identify with it, I don't want them in it. Then we came here. They asked us to put up one building, the zoning board. Put one up. We want to check it out. So they looked at it and said, you could put a Mack truck on the roof of your buildings. They're very well built. Build anything you want to build. If anybody bothers you, have them call us.
Yeah, they said, you overbuild. We're just here to protect people. Do what you need to do. Because they came and they looked at everything. They brought everybody down here. The police, the zoning board, the architects. They loved it. We looked all over the state, and we bought this 10 acres. We originally bought 10 acres here in Venus because it was pristine and untouched. And we wanted to experiment with a lot of things here, buildings and energy systems and a lot of different things.
Somebody came up to me and said, 2 million people die a year in Africa of malaria. Oh, they used to spray oil on the swamp, and that keeps the larvae from getting out of the water and they die. Then they stopped that because the fish died too. So they spray poisons on it, and that goes down to the water table. So I was thinking about that, and I said, gee, this is pretty easy to get rid of malaria. What I do is put a lamp under the water with a color spectrum that moves, which attracts mosquitoes at night into the water. And the fish eat them, and you get more fish, and you feed more people, and you don't poison the lakes. I've been working on things, and I've worked on medical devices, artificial knees, surgical instruments, all kinds of different things. And the doctors would take out the patents. That's all. I didn't care about it, as long as they used it. And so that was good. I'm just trying to tell you what you go through if you deviate from the culture. You have a lot of problems you have to deal with.
I've got a question for you about education. If everyone was like you, asking questions all the time, you'd have to have a whole different model of teacher.
There's really no teachers. There are people that have information. In school, they try to tell me, plants grow. And I said, no, they don't. Plants can't grow unless it has gravity, moisture, nutrients, sunlight. The plant of itself can't do a thing. It's connected. You don't see the connections. And nothing could be self-activated. Like a sailboat can't sail. It's acted upon by the wind. Oh, nothing is self-activating. We're all influenced by geophysical forces and things of that sort. Now, you don't see the wires connected to people, so we think we have free will. I can design a radio-controlled plane. It goes up and I make it take a loop and barrel roll and then land. But I can also design a plane with a chip in it, so it'll do a loop and a roll. Since you see no wires coming off, you think it has free will. But then, if it comes in for landing and there's a big hole in the ground, fall in that hole. They say, see? But if you put a sensor on to sweep the ground, it'll avoid landing in that area. See, it'll seem to be making decisions like a man or a person. When a guy says, hey, that's a nice chick, he's brought up in a given culture with a given set of values. If everybody had a nose a foot long, you guys would have surgery done to be accepted. Does that make sense? Sure. So there's no beauty. If you start bringing up people to concepts of beauty and you hold beauty contests, you hurt a lot of people. More girls are hurt by a beauty contest than the winner. And then all sports would be surpassed. Football, baseball, boxing, wrestling, all that's up. Because I have a scene I want to do again in the movie of a Roman family coming to see Christians being fed to lions. And the little kids said, Daddy, can we come next week to see Christians being fed the lions? I want to show that was normal in those days. Do you know what I mean? That you must understand the influence of a culture. So guys say, there's nothing like boxing, good boxing match, undercut, all that's conditioned, and they're pathetic. I mean, I really can't attack that because I'd be ground to a ribbon, because sports are big things. But they don't go to a ball game to watch two teams play, say Harrison was great, Michael did a good job. They root for their team, the Jewish American polo team, or this or that. You got all these different little guys rooting. This is dividing people. And so you must not do things to win approval. You do things because the job is necessary. I don't like a doctor who works for money. And they all do. When they say your kidney has to come out, you don't know if he's trying to pay off a new yacht or whether your kidney really has to come out. The monetary system, guys say, I got just the car you're looking for. Everybody you meet is out to send you something, and I want to do away with all that because you can't have decency and ethics in a monetary system.